gaslighting, like what is this? Finding myself in this world that revolves around the idea of value, and me not really wanting to be a part of it, but unfortunately needing to be because that's how you survive in this world. I don't know how I feel about that. It's this whole like, I want to fit into this society because that's how you feel adequate and how you feel, I don't know, belonging, I guess. But and I don't really want to like live in a very alternative way, because I don't know. So I don't mind too much this world and society we live in. I mean, I do. Sorry, I'm contradicting myself at like every step. Yeah, I just don't like the way that the world is built, because it's this constant search for more, because value doesn't exist. It's like an illusion. It's an idea, and so we're constantly searching for more of it, because there's never enough of it, or it loses value over time, and therefore you need to re-establish a new or reinvent what value means in a different way, whatever. Anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm not sorry, but I'm rambling. All that to say is that I'm like in my early 20s, just finished my like studies of like bachelor degree or whatever. That I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but now I'm just like, what do I do in my life? I guess I'm just in that crisis state, and I'm realising the dreams that I used to have are no longer the dreams I have now, and the years that I put into studying what I just finished studying, all in pursuit of like that not childhood dream, it was more of a teenage dream. That teenager dream no longer applies to who I am anymore as a person, and I now have to basically rebirth myself and try to understand what do I want and what do I aim for. And I'm scared that if I go for that, what if I don't like it as well? Because all this to say that the last time I filmed this was in France. I just arrived in France, and it was my teenage dream to run away to France. I was saying that all the time, and it happened. So basically I was working as a language assistant this time round, and like 2 or 3 years ago I'd done the same thing also in France, and the first time I adored it. Like, even in the difficult times, I never would have given it up. But so that's why I reapplied, and I was in a different region, and I don't know, I was quite apprehensive this time around about leaving, because I don't know what my motivation was with the whole running away thing. I think at the time, the idea of running away was really seductive to me. Like, kind of gives you that childish freedom, or that childish sensation, an impression of freedom. And I guess I was just seeking for childhood rather than facing the truth of me becoming an adult. So this time around, being in France, and doing the same job that I used to do, and just find myself alone in the mountains. It was beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, it was beautiful. The people there were truly one of a it's just I realised that I had changed, and that dream that I was chasing was no longer the dream that aligned with the person that I am right now, and I don't even know who that person is. I've always felt like I don't know, maybe from teenage years, I've always felt like a presence rather than a being. I don't feel like a person, I just feel like I'm watching a film, or I'm watching it like I'm in a dream. Like when you're aware that like, oh, this is just a dream, it's fine, like whatever happens is fine, it's just a dream. So that kind of mindset is how I've always felt since like teenagehood about my life. And also, yeah, it also feels like a dream. I said that. A film, when you're in a cinema and sometimes you kind of zone out, you're like, oh shit, like I'm actually in a cinema. Like when you're so engrossed in the film, and then at some point you're just like, look around and you're like, oh wait, I'm in a cinema. And that's just a film that I'm watching. So I have the same feeling about life, and I'm like, I know that this is not a unique experience, but that experience that I have of living, I never feel truly alive, and then I'm like, what is this experience if I don't feel truly alive? Especially in the moments that I do want to feel alive. Like, it's a nice coping mechanism for when things go wrong. You can easily say, oh, this isn't real, it's fine. But then when you want it to be real, you're like, it's not though. And I can't force myself to believe that it's real. And that's kind of a bummer, but I mean, I can cry about it all I want, but like, it is what it is. Like, I can't like force myself to believe something I can't believe, like. So yeah, me going on another rambling session. I'm so sorry. All this to say that if this is just a dream, then I'm gonna make it a lucid dream, and I'm gonna try and create what I want with it, even though at this moment I don't exactly know what I want. But I guess I just try, and I see. I guess your 20s is all about that. Just trying things out and stuff like that. And in this process of like finding myself and trying to discover this new part of myself, and like letting go of the old version of myself, it's been was speaking to a friend, that's exactly the advice I would give them. But then to take that for yourself is like a whole different challenge. Like I don't feel worthy enough to take time, even though I should. I don't know if it's okay to take time in this world. Yeah, I guess also I'm learning what it means to be a woman by listening to other women's stories, and yeah, I would like to redefine the idea of women, at least in my own experience. I think that's my goal. There's many things I'm scared of as a woman, like becoming a mother, and my beauty, because it's something that I know that I've grown quite attached to, and as I said, in this world of value and stuff like that, it's now basically a currency. To be beautiful is the strongest form of currency nowadays, and I don't really know what that's saying about our society. It's a very scary thing to me. I hope that I grow old so that I can die with an aging body and learn to love myself through that journey as well. I also want, as a woman, to be able to take my time and to allow myself to take my time and not feel guilty for it. I don't want to feel obliged to anyone anymore as well. I don't know how long that's going to take for me to learn as well, but again, I can take my time with that. And I'm saying these things, but I would like it to manifest for me, but I know I need to embody that kind of energy from right this moment. But I find it hard to believe that I am allowed these things. I feel like being born a human, there's like expectations of certain things from you, and then as if like then you can't escape them. Like if there's expectations, that means you don't want to let people down, and therefore you should do those things to not let people down, which is really dumb, but that's how my brain is thinking. Yeah, my biggest fear is becoming a mother, willfully or unwillfully. I feel like, and I think about it all the time. Like, working not all the time, but like so, like there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about it. Because I'm scared that it's just gonna happen one day. Because it's like this weird parasitic relationship that the child depends on the mother depends on the father, and then the father depends on like whatever the fuck. I don't like it. And I don't understand why it's so why people don't agree with the fact that like having a child is like literally a parasite. I'm so sorry, it's not me bringing out my anti-natalist opinions, sorry. It's you like as a woman you lose all your value. Okay, maybe not all your value. You might be respected in the eyes of some. You might even respect yourself because all of a sudden you see that your body is capable of so many, like, so much that you didn't believe you were capable of before, i.e. birthing a whole child, creating it inside your body, from your body, and this, that, and the other. But then it's like, in my opinion, you just lose your value after that. I don't know. I guess I'm speaking from the experience that I've seen, maybe from my parents or from, I don't know. But even outside of what I've seen from my parents, I just, I don't understand it. I don't understand the want to create another human being and keep adding to the machine, to the system of human beings. Like, I don't really respect or like the human race or like humans as a creation, so I'm not about to create, I'm not going to sign up to create them, even though if I did, I could, or like if I could, I would, you know, like I just don't understand how it's still so valued, and like I also don't understand why people say congratulations to people who have who are pregnant. Is that just me? I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, why are we congratulating? That's your choice. Like, congratulations on taking a choice or like and making it a reality. I don't know. Okay, maybe. But like, I don't get it. For me, I see that as like you're signing your life away. Just like that. Maybe I'm a very pessimistic person. I don't know. And I'm always open to people like correcting me and trying to create a conversation, because this is not just a monologue. I'm sharing my opinions so that people who resonate, and if you don't, I'm more than welcome to listen, and I'm only here to learn, so I'm always appreciative of other people's opinions, so please share. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I just see it like that. That like, for me, it's like, as a woman, you're signing away your freedom, your independence, and your life, your youth, your beauty, everything. Okay, I don't know. For me, I don't see any benefit in creating a human being and bringing it up until the day that you die. As soon as you conceive and you decide to keep it, you can like plan a funeral for your life, because that's your life gone. Okay, I have of course seen like, I've seen examples of women who are very knows me, I barely know myself. I'm still learning. I learn every day by making mistakes or whatnot. And I felt guilty for coming here and speaking. And you know, people perhaps having an idealized image of me in their head or from what they see, which yeah, I don't know, that really terrifies me because, and I felt like I needed to like find things that I've done in the past that could perhaps like make me seem like a bad person, so essentially self-sabotage myself because I felt like nobody will like, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't sit here and pretend to be this all-round perfect person and like without you knowing like perhaps who I was in the past. And I'm saying this is in like all the cringy and dumbass uneducated things that I used to do as a kid, as a teenager, which still haunts my mind. It's like the shit that I think about when I go to sleep, or you know, like the cringy shit that like keeps you up at night, that kind of stuff. Anyways, this to be something that I love to do. Rather than something that I feel like I'm obliged to do. And I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to let myself down either, or to force myself to do things. And I'm sorry if the energy has been a bit strange. I clearly don't feel as comfortable in this round, but again, I want to be as authentic as possible, and I want to express how I feel. And at the end of the day, who cares, right? But now I'm thinking, like, if ever I worked in some sort of career field and then they find my content, and what happens then, and I'm out here like blabbering on about my opinions about the fact that I think people shouldn't have as many kids as they're having, and this, that, and the other. Like, perhaps that's not a great look, hey? But I would say that's my most controversial opinion. I don't. It really doesn't get any worse than that. Let me think. I'll think about it, and if I come back with another video, I will share other opinions. But I deadass think that this is the most controversial, because anytime I've brought this up, tell me why people are like, they never agree, and I always feel like I'm a fucking loser, or like that there's something wrong with me for thinking the way that I do. I've only met like one guy who is also like pretty sure like he's like, he doesn't want to have kids, and we saw eye to eye on that. But I don't know. If I have friends, I have also had one friend. She also, we saw eye to eye on this subject as well. Regarding kids and the whole like parasitic nature, and we would like go on walks in the countryside, and we would like be like, why the fuck would people have kids anyways? But like, she was the one and only person, and yeah, I mean, we don't really speak anymore that much, but I mean, at least me towards her, I have like the fondest memories, and I've never felt true love as I have for my friends, regardless of if they have left or if we have separated ways. My love for my friends has been the truest love that I've felt. Love for my family, I'm scared to have, because I'm scared of the inevitability of death, and I don't want to get attached to human beings, because as soon as I see that I love somebody as a friend, as a family, I've never loved anybody in a romantic sense, so can't really comment on that. But as soon as I realise that I love somebody, I also realise that I grieve them in that moment as well. And every time I say goodbye, I'm saying my potential last goodbye, because I can't help it, like, I don't force it, I really can't help it, but I see every goodbye as a potential final goodbye, and I always look at them as if it could be the final time, and I always try to share my gratitude for my friends and people who are around me that I love as often as I can, because I'm always scared that scared of death itself, but that it would come too quickly, and that would affect like mostly my unrealized potential, and unrealized dreams, and also any connections with my friends and family who I haven't shown enough love to in the living moments. So I try to do that as often as I can to realize my potential. I don't think this is my fucking potential, but I don't know what my potential is. Anyways, what I do, but I don't. Like I know the dreams that I want to accomplish, but then I'm always scared I'm never gonna have enough time to do them, to like realize them, let alone enjoy them. Anyways, I'm saying all that because I have never loved anyone as deeply as I've loved my friends. And I don't know what else to say from that point onwards. Well, I don't really know what else to add. I mean, I could go on rambles about my dreams, like the dreams that I've had, and what effect, or like in fact, like what things I've learned from them. Because there's been a lot of life lessons that I've got from my dreams. I could ramble about my experiences in love and how, I mean, that it really is a losing game, as Amy Winehouse said. I could go on my rambles about my love experiences and all that kind of stuff, and how I don't believe that reciprocal love ever exists. But I guess I could leave that for another day. What is this lighting? I'm so sorry. I'm mildly exhausted. No, I'm mildly tired, not exhausted. I'm gonna go to sleep. This has been a lame episode, I know, I'm really sorry. But I mostly came here to explain why I don't know if I can always continue this kind of content, so please feel free to unsubscribe if you're expecting this kind of content all the time, because I cannot provide that. I might once in a while, but just the pressure of thinking and knowing that perhaps people are hoping for this kind of content, it just kills the vibe for me, and then I come off as really inauthentic. Okay, maybe I'll just close off by reading one of my texts that I've written on my laptop that expresses how I feel recently. I don't know. I wrote this in France, I guess, when I had just decided to leave and come back here. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this lighting like not be creepy, but it's gonna be creepy regardless, apparently. Okay. Sitting here, rethinking life. I don't really know what to say, what else to say. Given the peace and space of silence of space, suddenly feels not so heavy anymore. Not being forced or told what to do plays into that too. Sitting here pondering what it is that life is in the end, and why do I feel called to do and undo she forced and that everyone forced her to do. In boredom is found peace if you allow it. Is peace simply a choice? So I've fallen out of my dream. I no longer love it, nor the idea of it. I haven't seen all it. I haven't seen it all. But I felt a change this time. I don't care for it, in the slightest. I just want to be home. In my mum's apartment, as messy and not my own as it is. To feel the room light up in the morning, the sun taking the room and finding inspiration in it, transforming it into something otherworldly, with its vision, with its glow, and my plant. Prosperous as always. I still don't know exactly what I was born for. I'm not dying to know, but I don't mind trying. I would rather shed this entirely than to push through. Did my gratitude lead me astray? I've always begged for it to stay and make me see things in a different way. I've yearned for it in the hard times, those of loneliness, boredom and disgust. Forgetting gratitude also led me astray. I don't know if my gratitude also makes me a person who settles for less. Is a lack of gratitude something that forces itself through when a place, a time, a person has run its course? I followed a dream of my younger self, a version without realizing that I had outgrown. I felt bad for her, as if a shedded skin, lying, a cobweb, merely washed away by the autumn wind, and I craved so much to go back to that mansion. I thought it would be better for me. I don't know if it's just that feeling of today, the unfeeling of today, the unfeeling of the now that I'm tormented by. I have not touched the now for a long time. I have not whispered to my skin in a while. I have not lay on the floor and cradled myself. The floor feels cold and unfamiliar to me here, and yet this floor seems to be the only thing I can hold on to, for the streets would be just as empty. I don't like France anymore. Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of a shame to, it's less of a shame, it's just like, knowing that you're falling out of love of something is like, or of someone, I imagine it's the same thing, is probably like, the most, like, yeah, sad thing, because you know, no matter what you do, you just don't have that love anymore for it, or for them, and, there's nothing you can do. And I guess, yeah, France was my one true love for a long time, and as childish as that seems, that was the case. I was obsessed, and now I just see it as merely a place. And I also saw this place where I live in the UK, also just a place. I used to hate this place, and now I'm more neutral about it. I know the places to go that I appreciate, so that's where I spend the most of my time. And in France, I started seeing it less as this, like, romantic paradise or whatever, and more of a place, just another place with buildings and human beings that perhaps act in slightly different ways, but they're still human beings. There's not much to them. I mean, everyone is individual, and but in the grand scheme, we're just humans, you know. I don't know if that's something that we can be proud of. I'm certainly not proud of it. As much as I would like to be, maybe, because that would make life a lot easier. eventually I fall off of that as well. But I guess maybe that's what life is full of, which is kind of weird. Like these weird like phases of like, I don't know, chasing something and then falling out of love with it, and then, but hey, I would rather do that with my career than with love, because I don't see any point. But maybe I could talk about that another day. Anyways, this has been kind of lame, probably for you. I'm really sorry if it has been lame. It's not been lame for me. I've just felt lame because I feel like what I'm saying is completely stupid or controversial or, I don't know, just not adequate enough, because what I feel right now is not adequate enough. But that's my problem, and hopefully next time I return with intention and peace in my soul, and something that I'm really proud of, because that's what I stand for. Anyways, and I hope that you can stand for that too, to be authentically you, and to not be ashamed of that, as long as it's with good intentions. But then what is good and bad? Because good and bad is very